Good Morning Idaho, the $10,000 Treasure Valley Weight Loss Challenge is still going strong. And this week we have a unique look at the challenge from the perspective of one of our featured contestants. Lori Glaeser has it different than many of the other challengers because she had a pretty significant injury at the beginning of this year's challenge. Good morning, welcome back to the studio.
Morning, thanks.
Thanks for coming in, an early start for you, and especially because you were showing off your crutches earlier before we went into commercial break. You had a little mishap going on. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
I did. Last year was the first year I started the Treasure Valley Weight Loss Challenge, and what I had done was I had promised my kids last year that during that challenge, if I had lost a lot of weight, I would actually start skiing with them this year. They have
hadn't been skiing in a long time, right?
Decades, actually. And they are snowboarders, and they've been doing it for a few years, and I sat back in the lodge, and just watched them. And so I did lose a lot of weight last year.
Well, congrats. We like hearing that success aspect.
Yeah, that was great. So anyway, so I got out there and I started skiing and went up there and did a great job on the bunny hill. And so went up there the second time and was feeling really extra confident, and went on a larger run and was doing really well, and actually was getting really close to being about done, and just hit something wrong and twisted the knee wrong and broke something in the leg and tore the meniscus. So,
and you were telling me earlier that you felt fine at the moment until you tried to stand up.
Right.
You couldn't put
there was no standing. Yeah.
So unfortunate timing, and unfortunate that it happened at all. But what's really neat is that you've been making strides, and you've had to find ways to work around it, because you're still in this contest. You're not giving up.
No.
Not at all. So we went over to your home to kind of see some of the little tricks you're using. So tell us a little bit about how you're getting around the house. We know things are different for you now.
Right, because it's completely different when you're on crutches, because you cannot carry anything, because your hands are involved with the crutches the whole time. So I had these little cinch sack laying around, so I thought, well, when I'm home alone, that's the best way for me to be able to carry things around. And so as far as eating or drinking or anything like that at all, what I have to do is find ways to enclose things and put them in the cinch sack and carry them around that way. So if I want to get a bottle of water, that sort of thing, I just plan ahead and prepare bottles of water in my fridge, and then when I want to get to them, I use the cinch sack. I just put it on my back, crutch on over to the refrigerator, and either grab that bottle of water, grab that food, whatever it is, put it in my cinch sack, and then I go back to my chair or wherever and take care of it that way.
Innovative ways to make sure that you can still grab those things, and you talked about how I'm sure your family's willing to help you when they're home, but you're often home alone,
right?
So you have to figure out ways to do that. And the good news is that you're still finding ways to be moving. Of course, being sedentary would make it even more difficult during your challenge, right?
Right, and it would drive me crazy anyway, because I've been moving this whole time.
You're not the type of person that can just sit on the couch all day long.
No, I'm not very good at it.
So speaking of that, coming up in the next hour of Good Morning Idaho, you're going to stick around, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about what else you've been doing, not only staying moving, but you still managed to get some workouts in as well, which is good news, because we're glad that you're still having some success, even though you're still hobbling around with those crutches. Doing a very great job, though. We saw her in action at her home. So we'll check back in with you in about 45 minutes or so. Lori Glaeser is back in studio with us this morning. You heard her talk about the knee injury she got while skiing, and more importantly about how you've adjusted to living life around the house, even though you do have those crutches that we see stowed over there. Earlier in the show, we talked with you about how you've been getting around the house. You've had some pretty neat ideas to help you with all that. One of the challenge, we're talking about how you're continuing to succeed with your weight loss challenge.
Right.
Even though you only have one good leg right now, so to speak. So tell me a little bit about mealtime. First off, can you even sit at the table with your family with the table and chairs?
No, it's really difficult because it's the knee. It's really hard to bend it enough to really sit at a chair and get it under the table and stuff. And so what I do is I'll prepare a meal ahead of time, a lot of low-calorie, crock-pot, slow cooker type meals or casseroles, those type of things.
You put those in the fridge?
I do, and actually what's been neat about it is I'll put them in a container that's kind of a good proportion size for me, and then I can microwave them ahead of, when I'm ready for it, and then I'll take them back and put them in a chair in my living room, one that I can recline in so that I can keep my leg elevated and that sort of thing, and then eat there instead.
So would you say that it's helped with because you're putting them in Tupperwares, has that helped with your portion control and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually been, talk about behavior modification.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually helped with that a little bit because, my containers are a pretty good proportion size. And
sounds like something
so
maybe
that's
we
been
should think
nice.
about doing even if we don't have crutches,
Yeah,
because then you can set it out and then all you have to know is you only get one Tupperware. That's something I should probably do. You also told me something interesting that I liked. Say you're at home, you're working in your home office, and tell me what snack time has become.
Yeah, well, snack time has kind of been eliminated for the most part because my office is on one end of the house, kitchen is on the other end of the house, and I have these crutches to work with. And so I lots of times, I used to be sitting there at the office going, oh, might be a good time for a snack, and I would just wander into the kitchen. Well, now it's like, do I really want to go with my crutches all the way to the kitchen and back? And it's like, I'm probably not that hungry.
So in a way,
I
it's a
won't do
good
it.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too much work to even get the snack. I'm just going to skip it. So that I'm sure is helping you as well. And we were seeing some video just there as well of you even keeping up your workouts. Obviously, lower body going to be difficult because you've got to stay off of it, but still keeping up with upper body workouts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I had the opportunity to meet with Kathy at Axiom, and she gave me some really good tips and some starter exercises, things that I can do at home. And so that's what I've been doing is things that I can do. I can sit in the chair and still work on my upper body exercises and still burn a few calories and keep that muscle tone, which has been good.
And success stories thus far for this year's weight loss? Have you...
I think I've lost about 10 pounds this month, so I'm happy with that.
Congratulations. You, of course, last week we were talking with Wendy, who also lost 10 pounds. So starting
she's been doing great.
Yeah, you both. Starting off very well. We congratulate you on that. And thanks so much for coming in. And hopefully that knee will get healed up so quickly, you'll be back on your feet and doing even more.
Thanks, I hope so.
All right, thanks so much for being with us.